All right, so Apocalypse of the Gods, chapter number 7, and man, oh man, are you guys in for a shock in this chapter. So we're picking up right where we left off with Prometheus grabbing Wukong by the leg with one of his chains. Now, the fight is getting right into the action right now, so strap in because we're in for a wild ride, but make sure you subscribe to this channel so you never miss content like this, and drop a like on the video so you stay on this side of the algorithm. Now, without further ado, let's go. Yaru says it's a bit of a no, definitely it's a sneak attack, but the one that makes the first move is Prometheus. Don't forget, he made this move before Yara even announced the start of the match. The gods in the crowd are saying, what cowards these outer gods are. But others are saying, attaboy Prometheus, lay it on him. Serves you right, you damn monkey. So the crowd is split. We then see Prometheus with a smirk on his face say, forgive me, Wukong. To which Wukong replies, ain't no need for you to apologize. Either way, I was planning on letting you have the first move. Just like a bit of a handicap, you know? So this man is unfazed, and he's talking all this shit. He's very arrogant. He believes in his strength to the absolute highest levels. As he says this, Prometheus's face darkens. He says, I wasn't apologizing for the sneak attack, and his back muscles start pulsating like crazy. They're popping out of his shirt, bro. Wukong's now noticing this isn't no average god. Prometheus whips Wukong into the air by his leg that's got the chain attached to it. Wukong is surprised. Yara screams out and says, what terrifying strength, that's a titan for you. As Prometheus looks absolutely insane right now. Prometheus' elder brother, the great titan Atlas, our first ever look at Atlas, is even said to have held up the sky with his massive frame and outlandish strength. I would love to see Atlas fight somebody at some point. He's one of my favorite mythological figures. If he shows up in the crowd, I'd be hyped. But this is our first look at him. He looks awesome. That outlandish strength is the standard divine power of all the titans. That's an insane statement in and of itself. As Wukong is free falling down towards Prometheus, Prometheus says, forgive me, Wukong. No god has ever been able to withstand my attacks. None except for me, dude. This guy is awesome, actually. He grits his teeth, jumps up into the air, launches head first into Wukong's head, and slams him with a headbutt in this funny ass looking panel. But then this next one looks awesome with all this lightning surrounding them as their heads collide. This attack is called Divine Punishment in Chains, Gremos Arkan. It was a pain that Wukong had never felt before, unpredicted and unbearable. Hermes looks shook and he says, Lord Zeus, that there must be, and Zeus says yes. It would seem there's no mistaking it. Hermes continues, says that there was originally crafted specifically for Lord Prometheus' punishment, a most fearsome divine weapon that inflicts pain even the gods can hardly bear. As Wukong is wrapped fully in these chains at this point, Prometheus lifts him up above his head, launches himself up into the air, as Zeus says, in which case even a man like Wukong might be in some trouble. As Prometheus' face is determined as hell, he slams the shit out of Wukong with a brainbuster. Dino Altair, Eagle's Beak is the name of the attack. He slams him on his head into the ground. Wukong is wide-eyed, gasping, looks like the wind got knocked out of him, and it hurts him so bad. Prometheus says, that hurts, doesn't it, Wukong? I know it does. That pain you feel is the pain that I know best. According to the legends, Prometheus was the one to give mankind fire, and as a punishment, he was tortured, being bound in chains and crucified at the summit of the Caucasus Mountains for 30,000 years. However, that tale is false. The torturing of a god could never be carried out in such a half-hearted manner. This is the other side of the gods, never recorded in their histories. So this is the truth. This is the true torture mechanism that was inflicted upon him. We see a flashback start. Prometheus's flashback, so we're actually getting a full-fledged, a semi-full-fledged flashback this round. And we see this goddess. Her name is Bia, or Bia. She is sitting in this cage alongside Wukong, and it looks like a steel cage match, where Wukong's on one side, she's on the other side of the ring. At one time, the Titans ruled over the realm of the Greek gods. However, their leader Kronos was defeated by Zeus, and thus the Titans were stripped of their freedom and imprisoned deep within the Caucasus Mountains. Within that wretched prison, their only source of entertainment was this. And Bia starts smashing Prometheus with attacks. She jumps off 2 feet, slams him in the face, kicks him into the cage. When he hits the cage, he gets shocked violently. The narrator says, their entertainment came from the torturing of Prometheus, a traitor who allied himself with Zeus rather than Kronos. So the Titans that were in prison here hate Prometheus for being a traitor, and Prometheus is being tortured because he gave humanity fire by Zeus. So the man that he aligned himself with ended up turning on him in the end because of what he did for humanity, and he is the reason he is tortured. It's confirmed that Zeus is ordering all of this. Crazy development. A ruthless spectacle indeed, made out to be his divine punishment. The Titans are screaming, they're hype about Bia beating his ass, saying, "Atta girl, make that traitor hurt even more, beat him till there's nothing left, kill him." Some of the other Titans say, "How pathetic, serves that fool right, yeah, you love to see it." With how he's chained up like that, I doubt he can even put up a proper fight. So, in fairness to Prometheus, it's not as if he's actively fighting her. He is chained up in this cage. So he's restricted, his movements are restricted. And as we know, this chain is a mechanism that amplifies pain so bad. So Bia picks up Prometheus by his hair and says, "Uh-oh, can't have you going night-night on me just yet." And a mysterious character is shown watching from a chair that looks like a throne, and it's revealed this is actually Kratos, god of power and an agent of Zeus. Bia is the goddess of violence and also an agent of Zeus, so they both work for Zeus. Kratos looks like the Norse saga Kratos from the games, and he looks pretty cool. He says, "Indeed, Bia, we can't let him off that easy for giving fire to mankind. Besides, we've got to make sure these Titans get enough amusement out of this, because we Olympians might have taken away their right to rule, but they're not to be looked down upon. Work them too hard and give them too harsh conditions and they might start a rebellion, and we don't want that." I like that detail a lot, actually. That's why we gotta give them this first-class entertainment in the form of violence against the one who betrayed them. Meanwhile, Bia is just whooping Prometheus. She's got him in like a half Nelson. She's putting him in headlocks, slamming him all around the place. She's laughing. She's like, "Come on, why don't you try fighting back a little?" As Prometheus hasn't tried fighting back at all this entire fight. And she's taunting him, saying, "If you even can, that is." Prometheus just endures all this. The narrator says Prometheus did nothing but take it. Prometheus believed that that pain was the least he could bear for having led his former kin as well as mankind down the wrong path. And thus for centuries, for millennia, he simply took it. Dude, he took it for years and years and years and years. This is actually nuts. Until that day came. And that day, Heracles, also known as Alcides, showed up to the prison. One of the random guards walks over to Kratos and says, "Lord Kratos, we have an emergency." Kratos is like, "What are you talking about? This is all right before the fun's just about to begin." Obviously, Prometheus being tortured. "We're just getting to the good part." And then one of the other guards just gets slammed right in front of Kratos. And the one that was reporting the information is like, "Now isn't the time for this. Please listen." The door gets slammed open and Kratos is like, who goes there? And it is Heracles. He kicked open the door. He said, "My name is Alcides," the name that he had in his flashback in the Ragnarok main series before he became a god. "I am what you might call a god in training." So this was in the process of him becoming a god while he was doing his 12 labors. Kratos is like, "A god in training? What the hell does that mean?" Records show that the hero Alcides, later known as Hercules, stopped in the Caucasus Mountains in the midst of his 12 labors. That's the narrator talking. And Kratos says, "And even then, what does an apprentice like you want in a place like this? What's your business here?" Hercules says, "I am an inexperienced god, and I'm ill-informed on what happens in the heavens. But there is something that even I understand. This establishment is not just at all." So we get a montage showing that the Titans were actually treated pretty poorly. Despite what Kratos said earlier, he was towing the line of just not pushing them far enough and giving them this entertainment, but they were treated very badly. Kratos says, I see how it is. I've heard rumors that some foolhardy human had taken a drink of the ambrosia and gained power equal to that of the gods, and now he's making his presence felt in the heavens." When Prometheus hears this, a light bulb goes off in his head. He's like, "A human who became a god?" Meanwhile, Bia is standing on top of his neck. She's laughing loudly, saying, "You ignorant little fledgling, I'll let you in on something. This place is a fair and legal establishment, operating under the direct orders of Lord Zeus. Make a scene here and you'll be the one who's punished." Heracles then says, "Nonsense. You gods should be acting justly most of all, and yet here you are yielding to the strong and putting down the weak. Before I set mankind on the right path, it seems I need to show you the meaning of justice." He's preparing to fight them 2v1. He says, "First, I'll release these Titans, and then to make it all legal, I'll seek Lord Zeus's counsel on improving their treatment." Bia says, "You little runt, you think we'll just stand by and let that happen?" She starts charging toward Hercules. But as she's running, she's stopped dead in her tracks as Prometheus latched his chain around her wrist and stops her right away. She says, "What the hell?" "Alcides was it," says Prometheus. "Leave them to me. You focus on your own mission," whatever he was there for, one of his labors. Kratos screams out, "Prometheus, you! How the devil did you get those chains off you?" "You mean these?" says Prometheus. "These are a specifically made divine weapon of which I besought Zeus for my own punishment. Acantha, that's the name of the chains. Therefore, I could have taken them off whenever I wanted to, of my own will. Up until now, I thought that I'd spend the rest of my life continuing to be punished for my crimes. That man has piqued my interest, but now I wish to see for myself what he will do next. He has a smile on his face for probably the first time in thousands of years. He wraps the chains around his fist. Bia now is pissed off, runs at him and says, "It's just one after the other, huh? There's no way we'll let you do what you want." And she throws a punch at Prometheus that Prometheus catches immediately and crushes her hands. As you see that same lightning effect you saw with the Wukong headbutt. She screams out in pain, wails in pain. She's like, "What the hell? What is all this pain? Blood vessels are popping." It's like, I told you, these were specifically made so that anyone caught in these chains feels every pain imaginable hundreds fold. She's like, "Impossible. That can't be. There's no way you could have withstood this all that time I was beating you up. Not a single damn chance." Meanwhile, Prometheus is unfazed. He smashes her head with a headbutt. Smashes it. She looks like she got killed immediately. She got one shot essentially. She gets turned into the crystals just like everybody else in Ragnarok that dies. The narrator says any ordinary god would completely mentally crumble under such pain. And yet Prometheus has been able to bear it for 30,000 years, not because of the overwhelming endurance possessed by all titans, but because of Prometheus' own overwhelming mental fortitude. Insane. We don't find out what happened to Kratos, but he probably got his ass beat too. But Prometheus obviously got out of the prison. Went on to have a long-standing friendship with Hercules. We touched on that last chapter, so make sure you go check that out if you want to see it, if you haven't caught up on it. But he looks determined as all hell. Now, Wukong in this moment is starting to get back to his feet, and Prometheus's face, like we see he's bleeding partially. Of course, it's a kamikaze-style technique with the headbutt. He took damage as well, but he's unfazed by it, and Wukong is struggling back up to his feet. He's like, "Damn, I just got hit bad, bro." Like, he is stumbling back to his feet. And Prometheus says, "I haven't atoned for my sins yet, not by any means, but for now, I'll make you feel the pain I've felt until you surrender for thousands upon thousands of years, if need be." Wukong is bleeding and Prometheus is smiling. Wukong is getting that ass beat. Prometheus is putting that belt right to him, bro. Nobody would have expected this early on, that Wukong would be getting done as dirty as he is. Now, I don't think that Wukong's obviously done. He's going to come back with his own fighting style. Of course, the power pole hasn't even been used yet. He will come back from this. But it's great to see Prometheus getting this shine, and Prometheus is looking a lot more powerful than people thought with that insane mental fortitude. I can't wait to see how this fight goes. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know who you think is going to win. Did this shake you off your pivot? Do you still believe Wukong is going to win, or do you think that Prometheus might pull one of the biggest upsets in the heavens, especially with how much he was underestimated by Wukong and how arrogant Wukong has been? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.